Hi, I'm Dave Caro, a continuous delivery advocate at Split. I'd like to introduce you to a collection of best practices we call the Feature Delivery Lifecycle. At Split, we believe the modern application development process happens at the feature level. The new unit of measure is not the application, but the feature. Now, let's remember the idea behind continuous delivery is to iterate more often at lower risk in order to more rapidly get feedback. We do that so there's less friction, less waste, and more business value delivered in any given period of time. Let's take a quick trip around the feature delivery lifecycle to see how this comes together. At the start, teams decide which customer problem to solve next by developing a plan for a feature. Then they develop and deploy features, keeping lead time at a minimum. Now, deploying isn't the same thing as releasing in this model. Instead, teams progressively deliver features first to the dev team, then to other stakeholders, and then to ever larger subsets of the user population. It's an iterative target and release process. This reduces risk and unlocks the ability to detect these issues and gather insights from customers in production before releasing to 100%. To get a holistic view of a feature's impact, teams enrich feature flag data with existing performance and behavioral data. That in turn unlocks the ability to monitor the impact of individual features and conduct experiments. The last phase of the lifecycle is learning and deciding. With the data from feature monitoring and experimentation, dev teams have the insight they need to plan and start the cycle again. Now, when you're iterating often and adopting these practices across multiple teams, it's helpful to have a consistent approach throughout to management and governance. This helps reduce risk, but more importantly, getting this right makes it possible to iterate through the lifecycle rapidly and predictably, which is really the point of continuous delivery in the first place. Put another way, we want to automate as much of the process as possible so we can focus more on learning and delivering value instead of surviving fire drills. Now, when this whole iterative loop happens quickly and consistently, teams are better equipped to deliver value to customers and impact to their business. Let's drill into each of the phases of the feature delivery lifecycle to see how Split's feature delivery platform puts each part of this lifecycle within the reach of any team. The lifecycle starts when plans are made to solve one or more customer problems. Here, Split integrates feature flags with existing issue tracking and project management tools. You want your stories and your epics to line up, right? So you want to have the feature flags implemented before development starts, tracked as the development progresses, and easily discovered and observed by all stakeholders throughout the process. From here, we move to the top half of the feature delivery lifecycle, which is really focused on increasing development speed and release safety. So teams that are approaching this part are, if they're seeking transformation here, they're no stranger to chaotic release nights, painful rollbacks, and lengthy delivery delays that are caused by integration issues that are found really too late in the process, right? The sort of big bang approach doesn't really work so well. Their top priority is to achieve greater flow, safety, and predictability by implementing feature flags and other agile and DevOps best practices. And the thing is that feature flags dramatically reduce cycle time and release risk by enabling progressive delivery, trunk-based development, testing in production. These practices all are related to each other, and it's about decoupling deploy from release. Here's how Split's feature delivery platform helps your team transform the way they develop and deploy and target and release. First, there's this issue of separating deploy from release. Split allows your teams to deploy at any time while precisely controlling when, which, and how many users are exposed to each code change. Second, enabling non-technical users, or you might say the rest of the team. Split's web console and integrations with issue tracking systems allow business users to dynamically change flag behavior in production without relying on engineers to make code or configuration changes. Third, ensuring compliance. Split's approval flows facilitate peer review and enforce approvals before code changes in production can take effect. Next, ensuring data privacy. Split's unique security architecture allows targeting of users by private attributes without requiring that sensitive data to leave your internal systems. Fifth, scaling across teams. Split provides a single, consistent system for creating and managing feature flags that supports all major development languages and is accessible from an intuitive UI, a developer-centric command line interface, and integration-friendly APIs. kind of a come one, come all approach. Sixth, enhancing existing DevOps tools. Split's open architecture integrates with existing issue tracking, CI/CD platforms, application performance monitoring tools, preserving your existing investments while accelerating your transition to greater speed and safety. Optimizing release cadence and safety with the top half of the feature delivery lifecycle frees your development teams to focus more of their attention on the bottom half, which is maximizing feature impact. This is the part that's game-changing. As this phase comes online, teams evolve from asking, is this feature working, to, is this feature working for the business? They start using feature flags to monitor feature health and to run experiments and to seek answers in data. To accurately answer this more impact-centric question, engineering and product teams leverage Split's feature management and experimentation capabilities to accomplish really 5 things. First, they safely test out new ideas. Split's data architecture enables teams to run multiple concurrent A/B and multivariant tests on their front end, their back end, and mobile features. This allows them to measure and compare the impact on customer experience and business objectives. Second, they monitor feature health automatically. Split begins measuring the causal effect of each feature during its rollout within minutes, quickly identifying issues that otherwise would go unnoticed, affording your teams the opportunity to kill the root cause of a performance issue before it reaches the rest of the population. Third, they quickly detect unintended consequences. While your team may be focused on a small number of key metrics they intend to influence, Split automatically calculates the impact of every feature rollout on all of the metrics your organization has defined. Essentially, the things you care about are checked all the time without asking somebody to do it. This calculation is done in real time. It allows, swift detection of unintended consequences. So new metrics to drive this can be defined from existing event streams even during or after an experiment without having to restart or retest. Fourth, teams achieve statistical rigor automatically. Split's built-in and experimentation best practices have been built to maintain statistical rigor at scale. This eliminates the need for data scientists to tend to each experiment, eliminating a bottleneck. Your precious data science resources can then be deployed for novel investigations and discovery of new opportunities for experiments. Finally, they enhance the value of existing data and analytics tools. Split's open architecture integrates with a wide variety of customer data platforms, data warehouses, and product analytics tools to enrich your experimentation data pipeline and transform the data into actionable, statistically validated insights. Integrations and interfaces span from the non-technical data mapping UIs to programmer-friendly APIs. Encompassing this entire lifecycle from top to bottom is Manage and Govern, which allows software engineering teams to scale their users, feature flags, and change requests on Split, all while ensuring enterprise-grade security and compliance. Split's granular user permission capabilities allow you to control which users can edit or publish changes by setting permissions for specific objects and environments. For example, an individual developer might be able to take a feature live in a pre-production environment, but be required to gain consensus with a peer or a manager before doing the same in production. Now, to ensure compliance, Split can require peer review and approval before code changes in production take effect. Split also tracks all changes made in audit logs and even provides interfaces to change management systems where your enterprise-wide policy compliance may already be implemented. So you don't have to redo this, you just tie it in. In order to maximize security, Split protects your data with SSL encryption and supports mandatory use of single sign-on, session timeouts, and those timeouts can be aligned with your enterprise policies. You can also have forced logouts. Major healthcare and financial institutions trust Split's unique architecture because it keeps private data inside their applications rather than sharing it with Split. SOC 2 and Privacy Shield certifications and regularly scheduled OWASP 10 penetration testing further ensure that even your non-private data is kept safe. Split seamlessly unifies these capabilities into a single platform, making it easy for software development teams to master the feature delivery lifecycle for optimal speed, safety, and business impact. So that's the feature delivery lifecycle and a bit of detail about how Split's feature delivery platform puts this approach within the reach of any enterprise. Whether you're in the middle of adopting Agile and DevOps best practices, building a culture of experimentation, or both, you can employ part or all of the lifecycle to help achieve your goals at any scale. Centering modern software delivery around this lifecycle is ultimately how software development teams beat competitors to market and innovate features that delight customers. To see Split for yourself, join one of our scheduled live demo and Q&A sessions. You'll see how Split is helping teams release faster and safer, and then get immediate answers to your questions in the Q&A. Just head over to try.split.io/split-demo to see the date and time for the next session.